Hello friends, in today's video we are going to talk about a little bit DAX and one of the solution which I currently provided on Power BI community forum. It was a little bit complex. The question, I will share my screen and show what the question is, and then we will go step by step in building the solution. I already, of course, developed the solution, but I will walk through what was my thought process and how I went and solved for it. So there's a lot of DAX around it. Let's look at the problem first and then look at the solution and go from there. First, kudos to the user. He explained the problem very well, which is always really important to understand what the problem is. So here is the question. I need to know how many clients who made their first purchase in a specific store, in this case A, and will visit other outlets instead of only going back to outlet A. Okay, so that's the first thing. And the second thing is, he said this is what expected to do. And then out of those clients, the one which visited first purchase, we have to be very careful, is first purchase at outlet A, how many of them out make subsequent transaction in other outlets? So not going to the same outlet again, but to the other outlets. For clients who visited A plus another outlet, he will use those. They are like, that's what he's looking for. For the client who visited A and only A, will ignore them. So it is like first find out whether their first purchase at the outlet A, and if they have a subsequent purchases, are they in the outlet A or on a different outlet? If they are in a different outlet, then those customers you want to count, otherwise he wants to ignore that. So we will look into the DAX, how this has been solved, and I will walk through step by step. And here I have a sample use cases. First, to look at the data, we just have one simple table in this case. There's nothing in here. There's a client ID, outlet, transaction date, and this is the client, because this ID was very hard to differentiate, so this is just a unique number. So client, outlet, and transaction date, 3 columns which are important for this. So here I brought some use cases. If you look, so client 1 and 2, first sale is outlet A but no subsequent sale. If we look at the client 1 and 2, so their first sale is in outlet A, but there is no future sales, so they are not part, they does not meet the condition. Client number 9, multiple outlet sales but no sales in outlet A. So if we look at client number 9, it has 3 sales but nothing in nothing in outlet A, so not part of the condition, so we don't need to include that in the count. So client number 78, I will just straight filter to that client, so easy to look. So 78 has a 2 sales, October 17, October 18. The first sale is in outlet A, but the subsequent sale is not in any other outlet than A. So it means this also does not meet conditions. So it should not be part of the data set. So client number 1201, let's look at that client. This client has a sale. It has a sales on September 18 to outlet A, but that is not the first sale. It is the third sale. The first sale is in outlet E. So this client is also not part of, does not meet the conditions. So what client meet the conditions? If we look at the client number 17 here, quickly. So 17 has a first sales in outlet A and the subsequent sales are in outlet G. So that meets the criteria or the condition. So if we look at 1529, again quickly jump onto, so first sale is in outlet A and the subsequent sale is in outlet E, but that client also has another subsequent sales in A. So meet conditions because the first is on A, but there is a subsequent sale which is part of not A but other outlet. So these are the use cases. These are the various conditions which can happen, and the DAX will take care of all this to only count where we meet the conditions as per the business logic the user described. So we will start writing DAX code. I already have it. I will start writing again and step by step explain what is happening in the DAX code. Okay, we will start writing the measure, and let's go step by step. Measure, come on. Okay, so here it is. Let's say maybe client count. We can call anything. So first thing is I will probably store my base outlet or the first visit outlet user wanted to check against. The reason why I'm storing it, because then we can use this variable into the throughout the DAX, and then if we decided to make it dynamic using a slicer, then we can easily switch this variable with the value, and then that becomes much easier. So that's a base outlet. The first part is that we need to find out based on the question is like what is the first um, the the first outlet they visited, is it outlet A or not? So let's store a data in a temporary table in a variable. So what we are going to do here is we will take each client and rank the date in the ascending order. So the first transaction is the first rank, second transaction second rank, and third and fourth. So let's do that. So what we will do is calculate table sheet 1. So I just want the sheet 1 as my table. Add columns to this. So I will add a rank column. What I will do here is my column name is rank, and I will use rank x function. So that would be filter all sheet 1, and we want all the record of the current client on the row context. So client sheet 1 client is equal to max of sheet 1 client, and now we want it to be sorted by ranked by date. So that's a transaction date of sheet 1, and I want to make sure it's ascending. Sorry. So what it is going to do, if we look at the 1529, it is going to rank within the 1529 this as the first, second, third, fourth. So it's going to rank in 1530, this is first and second. So basically ranking each client records, set of records based on the date. So the first date is the first rank, and so forth, so on. So that's what we have achieved so far. And then now what we need to do here is, since we have the ranking, we know when the first transaction happened. Now we can filter it on that we want to make sure we want only those clients where the first transaction date is on outlet A. So now we can easily do that. So if we filter our base table with rank where outlet is equal to A and rank is equal to 1, it means whatever the ranking we did, we just get the table where the first outlet was A and rank. So this gave us the list of clients who has their first transaction at the outlet A, and that's what the fundamental first starting question is. So instead of using A, I will use the variable, so that if we change it to B, the logic will work. Now we know who those clients are. What we're going to find out from this is their future transactions are somewhere else, other outlets than A. Okay, so to do that, what we will do is we will add further enhance this. So maybe we'll say table with other outlet. So what that would look like, first um, we need to add column into our filter table, and what we want to call the measure other outlet, um, maybe count. So what we want here is any sales on or after the on the filter record after this a, a outlet A. So that would be, let's say transaction date will be our transaction date stored in a variable, and then now here we can say calculate count rows, like if there is any on sheet 1, sorry, where transaction sheet 1 outlet, we want to find out, it's not the outlet A, so it is not baseless base outlet, which is A in our case, and sheet 1 transaction date is greater than the first transaction date. Actually I should call it first transaction date. Sorry, I have to say return here. So to explain what this piece of code is going to do is, so we have a filter table with rank where we now know the clients who has their first transaction in outlet A, and now what we're doing is we are getting a count of number of transactions which are not happened in outlet A, and they are after the first transaction date. So that will give us, now we know who are those clients, the other outlet count, who are those clients which has a sales in other outlets after the first transaction date. So this is a starting point. So now what we can do is, now we can filter this table. Why we are filtering this table? To find out that they have a transaction in the future after the first transaction. Some might not have the transaction in the future, and then this value will be blank. We will be getting the blank value. So we want to filter those to make sure there is a future transaction. So what that will be, filter table with other outlet, maybe make it a little smaller, where note is blank our other outlet count. It means they have a future transaction. Just to quickly show you the use case here in the data. For example, if I remove this, go back to everything. So like for example, client 1 has the first transaction in outlet A on this day, but they does not have any transaction in the future. It means we don't want to include that. So that particular filter will exclude from that our table which we created in the variable. So that is now the A and client 1 and client 2 are now not part of the filter table because they don't have any future sales. So now we don't want that as part of the list. So now from here onward, so what we can have the final filter table with other outlet sales. So now if we return this value, that's the result basically. So let's see what happens here. So if I drop that measure which I just created in here, so I will see the count only against those which meet the condition. So see the number 1 and number 2, we don't see anything. The reason behind that is even their first sale is in outlet A, but they don't have the subsequent sale, so they failed that condition. So number 17 meets the condition because his first transaction is in outlet A, but subsequent transactions are in other outlets, so that works. So that meets it. So make it even simpler to see what those are. So if I bring client and client count, my measure, so it will only give me the list of those clients. So these are the client who has first transaction in outlet A, but they also have a future transactions, and those transactions are not in outlet A. So there are 165 clients. So out of total, if I get the count of unique distinct, how many clients are there? So out of 367 clients, and have only 165 are which meets the business rules what we defined. So let's take a look at a few of those. So for example, if we click at 1173, so as you can see, 1173 has a first transaction in outlet A, and the future transaction in different outlets. Even he has a future transaction in outlet A, but this user also, client also has a transaction in outlet C. I hope you learned few things from this DAX. It was little long and lengthy DAX, but if we know what we are looking for, what the business logic we can apply, we want to apply, we can work step by step in our DAX code and get to the result what we are looking for. Anyhow, let me know what you think. Until next video, have a good day. Do subscribe my channel and talk soon. Bye for now.